What it do, what the business is.
It seems to be another week in the books with the OndeckTV podcast. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown, if you are looking for me on social media.
And I am Spike Lou on the same social sites. How you holding up out there, man? Fresh back from the Grammys?
Absolutely, man. Just got on a flight back from the Grammys. Shout out to the committee.
Did you get a hairpiece?
No, but I am 3 weeks away from getting a heart in my beard. Shout out to my guy Freshery. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm pulling up. I'm getting a Drake heart in my beard for my birthday. Fuck it.
Shout out my guy Fresh, man. He gonna get you in there, man. Y'all pull up on him if you're in the A. How everything else been other than the heart in your beard? That's nuts. I know you got that.
Nah, I'm good, man. I can't complain. How about yourself?
Fresh tried to sell me on that shit when I was up there getting my haircut about a month ago, man. I told him I couldn't do that.
I'm getting it in the beard. I'm changing the game with that.
That's hilarious. I can't wait to see that, like the Instagram people said, and make fun of you. That is a fact.
Shit. Action-packed show, man, coming up. Listen, we got rappers manufacturing streaming numbers. We got Waka Flocka calling other people corny. And we've got Kid Cudi mad at a new TikTok trend, as well as it's the daylight savings episode, man. What the hell does that mean, guys? Well, these clocks went forward and kicked my ass over the weekend. I'm still sleepy from losing that hour. I wish we would have been given an hour back. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick 3 rappers apiece of whose career we would turn back the time on. What will we change? You feel me? I like that. It's original shit. You only going to get that here at On Deck.
Absolutely, right? Man. Original content.
100%, man. But first, the 63rd annual Grammys kicked off, as you mentioned earlier. A couple of notable things happened. Nas took home Rap Album of the Year. Jay-Z and Beyonce were in attendance. We had performances by Meg, Cardi, Lil Baby, etc. My question, what exactly stood out to you?
I was in and out on the Grammys throughout the night, just kind of kept it on one of the other screens, like an iPad or something like that. And initially what jumped out to me is the success that Meg had throughout the night. Shook it. Congrats to her. Yep. Much love as far as her coming through and doing her thing. And the other thing that stuck out to me was Lil Baby's performance. I think Lil Baby's performance was fantastic as far as his song, and then bringing Killer Mike in to drop a verse off for Run the Jewels. All of that, it hit perfectly. I think Trevor Noah actually did a good job of hosting it from what I see. Yeah. And it was a cool, small affair. It just, nothing jumped off the stage to me as to where I was like, oh, wow, this is great. Beyonce, Jay-Z showed up late, fashionably late. I get it. They do that. The billionaires in the building, everybody pay attention. I get it, man. Like I wasn't floored by anything that happened. Like I said, Lil Baby's performance definitely stood out to me. It reminded me of Kendrick's performance. That time when he did the I can't think of what it was, the To Pimp a Butterfly, a song off of that, but it reminded me of that when he did it in the Chains and things like that. So those things were dope to me. It wasn't really a spectacular night or anything of that nature from my eyes, because I was in and out. I really wasn't tapped in all the way and focused on it. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, man. I was in and out, but I did notice you mentioned Megan Thee Stallion had a big night, one for Best Rap Performance, then one again for Best Rap Song. Then one again for was a Best New Artist. So shout out to her. Beyonce broke a record. I think she's now got the most Grammys by anybody, which is nuts. Shout out to Blue Ivy. she got a Grammy.
She got a Grammy for.
She's featured on one of the songs. I think she's featured on the song that Beyonce's on, I believe. I don't know. Don't nobody hold me to that. But what was interesting to me was the Rap Album of the Year, which is what we were really paying attention to. And just to regurgitate, like the nominees were Jay Electronica, Royce da 5'9", Freddie Gibbs, D Smoke, and Nas. Nas ended up winning. This was his first Grammy Award, almost 27 years to the day of when Illmatic came out. Illmatic came out in April 27 years ago. He gets his first Grammy. That's crazy. I saw Hit Boy's reaction. That was super dope. Respectable. He put a lot of hard work in and it's paying off. So that price of that, listen, if you didn't get the Hit Boy beats in before last weekend, you can cancel it. But it was cool. Kanye won too. Let's not forget that though.
What Kanye won?
The gospel joint. Oh yeah.
it seems like the Grammys would not be as tone deaf, especially this year. Like if Nas is gonna win, you would show that. Like that's a big moment for hip hop. Like they miss out, they drop the ball a lot.
Was it because of COVID though?
I don't know, but you can't get Nas there. Yeah, like they announced this shit at like 2:00. I know people were putting it in the group chat at like 2:00. Like, damn, they announced it all. If I was Nas, I'd be highly upset.
That's true. I need my moment. Fuck that.
I need to be on stage. Jay gonna be there, nigga. I need to be there too, nigga. I've been rapping just as long as him. Give me like goddamn Grammy.
I thought it was interesting that if you remember last year when Kanye was going through his rant, he took a piss on the Grammy last year. So I can't believe.
Oh yeah, I remember he put it in the toilet. Didn't even asking about who had to get that out. Did you watch a lot of it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had one eye on most of it.
I want to read a quote to you from Time magazine, and then I want to see what you thought because you watched a little bit more than me. Yep. It says the Baby, Roddy Ricch, and Megan Thee Stallion are three of the biggest stars in the world. Their charisma and talent speak for themselves. So it was disappointing to watch them have to assimilate their performances through the lens of white culture. The Baby was joined by a string section and a Scotts Amalfi chorus. Megan Thee Stallion performed a tap routine on a Copacabana-like set, and Roddy Ricch was accompanied by a harp. Are they off on that? Like, did you feel like it was being whitewashed, or they just going too hard on this article?
No, I saw.
This is Time magazine. It ain't like off the beaten path of like The Onion or nothing like that.
Yeah. No, that's not. Who's to say a string section is whitewashed though? Like, what is that saying?
Opera or some shit like that.
I mean, but you see people do that. You've seen performances with like trap artists with like string percussion and stuff like in the background, like symphony type shit. Nigga, that shit sound dope as fuck. Like that's creative. That's mashing up of multiple genres. So to me, in my opinion, I didn't get that vibe, and that doesn't make sense. It's just being creative and doing something live. I didn't get that at all. And the Megan joint was actually a play on I saw somebody tweet this. I don't know if you saw the Megan performance, but did you see the two people jump down from the steps and do the splits, and they jumped down and they did the splits on the steps? That's actually a routine from a movie that they got that from. And it was two black people that was doing it. So I don't know I'm not exactly why they were upset about that, but I didn't get that vibe though.
I wonder was that on or off, because I didn't get to see a lot of it, but I felt like even in the next paragraph in this article, they go on to commend them for the Lil Baby performance and the different things of that day. So I just wanted to know where they reached in there. It seems like they were. Sound
like a hot take. They were trying to get a hot take, man. But
trying to get quoted in the article. But yeah, I mean, the Grammys are what they are. I respect. It's weird for me every year Jay-Z makes this appearance, and when he makes such a fuss about not being there and anti-Grammy. So that is weird, but I guess you got to play the political game even if you're Jay-Z. So
has he been anti-Grammy though?
He started out anti-Grammy. I won't say as of late he's been anti-Grammy, but there's definitely been some anti-Grammy moments in his career.
When he won one of the years, he told Blue he had a gold sippy cup for him when he held up the
got a gold sippy cup for yeah. So I mean, he's definitely been on and off about him, but I mean that makes their show. Like they cut to them. I know if I had it playing in the background, every time I looked over, they were cutting to him and Beyonce, and rightfully so. So
real quick, Roddy Ricch, when he felt some type of way that he didn't win any, and he referenced Kanye pissing on the Grammy. He was hot about that. He felt disrespected.
I don't know about it. It's still young, right? Rich got a long career ahead of him, supposedly. I wouldn't be that mad if I were him. But he has been kind of quiet, though.
Yeah, he took a year off. He took a year off.
Sound like the box. I guess you can take a year off, though.
Exactly.
Well, I guess you shouldn't either, though, because you want to capitalize off it being high. They go both ways, huh?
In a pandemic, you can't help but take a year off.
That is a fact. Next up, man, we got your man's G-Eazy. Ain't nobody riding around listening to that shit. He's under a lot of scrutiny here lately, he and his label Sony, for allegedly manipulating streams. Yep. My question to you, man, is did you believe this story, or how you think it impacts the game?
Yeah, no, I definitely believe it, man. J. Cole warned us about this. He said this on a lot. How many niggas faking their streams, getting their plays from machines? I can see behind the smoke and mirrors, niggas ain't as big as they seem. And this is a prime example of it. This was an interview from a guy who runs a company that generates streams for people.
Great
and they have a phone call record of G-Eazy's people inquiring about how they can go about buying some of these streams. So on here it said the guy's network, air quote, can generate 200 million streams a month for around 30 to 50,000. And that his clientele includes other big name music artists and labels. So it does make me question billboards and all the streaming numbers. And we've talked about that. We came from an era where you had to actually get up, go to Best Buy, buy the CD. Like the numbers meant something. Like you could argue some people were like, yeah, the label used to buy some. It's, oh, okay, then that's possible. But to us being ignorant to that side of things, it still meant something. Now, when you see Drake making history because he's got the number 1, 2, and 3 song on Billboard, does he? Like, does he really, or did he just pay 30 bands to this nigga to get 200 extra million streams on the song? Like that, like that's how you gotta look at shit, bro. And when he says I've got labels, I've got big time artists, I believe him because I mean that's what people do, man. You fake it until you make it. Because who's gonna question G-Eazy? Because I mean, people listen to him. He's relatively popular. He's got a fan base, so nobody's gonna question a couple of 100 extra streams, bro. Nobody gonna check on that shit.
Facts. This is a great story, man. Shout out to this and this topic. As I was reading it, I was more amazed by this guy. That you what was his name? Do you
Mac?
got it? Mac, this Mac guy and his company, and what they allegedly do is they pump up your streams, and small artists use them, big artists use them.
Yep.
And when I got done reading it, I was like, okay, well, how does this affect everything? And for someone like me and how I consume music, and often find myself wondering why don't new projects or new people stick as much as they used to. Mm-hmm. Like some person will be here today, gone tomorrow, had this hot streaming song. And I think this is part of the reason why, like they're hiring companies like these. They're manufacturing how hot they are. Then people are telling you, oh, this person is hot. Then you go listen to the music as a true fan of music, and you be like, this is the hot nigga y'all talking about? It's whack. Well, this is just okay. I could have discovered this on my own or fumbled about it. I don't see why everybody is talking about it. So to the article's credit, it did say that G-Eazy did not admit to this, like being a part of what he did, and Sony has condemned this. I was surprised though that there was a code of conduct against this, because you spoke to payola and how artists and labels would pay radio stations, and then that was banned by the FCC. I was surprised that this was a thing, that all the labels got together with 2017, I think it said, and they signed a pact not to manipulate streams. And then you have companies like this guy's company, and what he essentially does, he asks for $30,000, and he says he'll get you on all the hot playlists. He said he'll get you over 1 million YouTube views. He'll get you album sales. Like all of these things are going to come if you pay $30,000. And to my surprise, industry guys, execs that they quoted in the story stated, hey, we use this for new artists and established artists, because even if they have a buzz, we want it to continue to appear that they look like they have a buzz, even if people have tailed off from it. This is a fascinating read, and you can put the link in the show notes or whatnot, but it goes a long way to me as a fan as to why, like, I really don't find a lot of new artists. Like a lot of the stuff that when I go through their playlist, it's like, it's okay. Why is this on a playlist? I know a lot better music that I've just stumbled upon or somebody genuinely told me about. So this says a lot about how music is consumed and the type of music that gets to us through those playlists and streaming services. I was very impressed by the story.
Yeah, that was dope. And like this leads to the fact where even if I come across a new artist on Instagram or social media, and they got hella have you ever seen a rapper that got like 1 million followers? And you're like, how? You're like, what? What is? Yeah. I've never heard. Like now I look at that like, oh, that's cap.
Yeah. You got 1 million followers. Like, how is it possible that you have like 1 million people know you and I listen to music and I don't? How is that possible?
And this is this guy's company. My put on a couple of episodes ago was Fake Famous on HBO, and it lended to this culture right here. And we've all known people that do that. Like Lil Pump did this. Lil Pump actually signed to a company whose job it was to market through Instagram. So they made him hot through Instagram by marketing him and kind of souping up the numbers with fake followers and shit. So All of that is a real deal. Check out Fake Famous on HBO. It plays right to this. And it just makes you look at artists differently, bro. New and kind of current. So it hurts the new artists, because that's the first thing I think of, bro. If I see a new artist on YouTube and they got 800,000 views on a video, bro, fuck, and I ain't heard the song, bro, I'm not biting, bro. I'm just not biting.
This goes to the age-old question, and I think this is a lot of, we don't want to say it here, we're tiptoeing around. There's a lot of like white rappers, like Macklemore, Eminem, G-Eazy.
Lance.
Yeah, because you ask yourself, and I just seen this clip, J-Ho posted it in the group chat when Gucci Man was talking about, dude, who's riding around listening to Eminem? Like, honestly. And they always tell us, oh, it's white kids in the suburbs. Like, but honestly, who's riding around listening to Eminem or Macklemore or G-Eazy? Yeah. But it seems like they're big stars because of the numbers that they bring back, and I'm thinking that this is the reason why.
Well, Eminem was around before this shit, though. Let's be clear.
But I think that he's benefited from it. In the same, well, not in the same way, but as of late, because he's still breaking records, and I still to this day don't know nobody that ride around listening to him.
He's benefited from having a fan base of white males that make up 70% of the country.
Allegedly. I don't know that anymore. For all I know, Paul Rosenberg was figuring this shit out before streaming, and that's how Eminem got his numbers too. And this is what you do to the game when you introduce shit like this. Like isn't a victimless crime. Like now you motherfuckers are skeptical of everybody coming out. So
I agree. They may not be listening to them in Zone 6, but there's a whole world outside of Zone 6, Gucci.
Alleged.
That's true. Next up, man, speaking of Zone 6, Waka Flocka, on an IG post, man, the ATL rapper had this to say about people who film themselves doing charity. I quote, "When I do good deeds, I don't need to record or take pictures, because why would I catch a person at their lowest? So anybody filming themselves helping the homeless is corny." End quote. Now, we've had several artists do this before, whether they film themselves in Walmart giving out money, or they film themselves making it rain on homeless people out of the drop top vet. We've all seen this before. Is it fair or foul for Waka Flocka to call them corny?
I think this is foul. You can conduct yourself, Waka, as you please, and this may not do anything for you. And I don't agree with pointing people out at their lowest, like he said. That's not what I'm disagreeing with. But what I am disagreeing with is how he thinks this affects people. Like, some people, not you or I, but of younger generations and different people, they'll go to Instagram for motivation, and they look to people like Waka Flocka or Meek Mill as a guidebook. So if they see you handing out turkeys in the hood, hey, maybe they buy a homeless dude some food. They see you giving the kids backpacks, and hey, maybe they do the same thing for their kids' classroom. That giving and philanthropy strikes in people different ways, and I wouldn't call anyone corny for how they do it or how they document it, because the documentation of it is what spreads it the most. Like, it's cool for Waka Flocka to be in Zone 6 helping kids go through school and helping these different things. And you're right, you don't have to publicize it. But if you want that to spread and want people to see that that's cool, people that may look up to you and not necessarily act, and they're going to go try to do what you're doing. And if you're in that situation, they say, hey, if I'm ever in that situation, I need to do the same thing. So it goes a long way as far as the benefits that can be from this. Now, I'm not with you. I'm not with filming everything either. Some things can go without being filmed, but there is a reason that some of these things are documented too. And I can't call people corny for what they do and try to motivate other people.
Yeah, it's all about the intention of the person. Waka Flocka seems like a genuine cat. We done met him before. He seemed like a cool, solid nigga. And he actually seems like that. So this right here wouldn't be his bag. Others, not so much. Like, bro, somebody may be younger in this generation of social media where they film everything. Like, some people just film everything, what they eat, where they walk into. Like, it just is what it is. I've kind of gotten used to that type of stuff. But where it is somewhat foul is that, like you said, seeing those good deeds are infectious. And we need more of good news being filmed and put on social media to offset the bullshit that we see every day. And two, the fact of the matter is, if people don't see it, they usually don't believe it. So that's another thing, like, to add context to who you are as a person and your brand or what you're really about, bro. In this day and age, we got HD 4K cameras in our pockets, bro. Like, it's a reason for that. Film that shit, put it out. That shit spreads, bro. That makes it cool. Like, that makes other people, well, it should make other people motivated to do similar things, bro. Like, I follow Slim Thug. Slim Thug used to go around and film himself with his, when he was building houses and buying up the block with the hashtag buy up the block. I don't want him not to film that shit because that's motivating somebody. That's dope. Like, oh, you only a hater if you look at that shit and be like, oh, man, why you got to put that up? Like, what? No, nigga, get out your hater bag. Nigga, like, get off your ass and do something. Like, that's what it's supposed to do. Now, some people can take it too far. Like, if you look at somebody like, I can see people being a little annoyed at maybe money phones or something like that. Like, or if you really ain't got the bread and that's your man phone, like you flexing, like that kind
That's
of stuff.
different though. Like, just simply bragging and then like actually doing something is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a nigga being annoyed with the money phone. Like, that I could see that. Like, Walker used to rob niggas. Like he said, he used to rob drug dealers. So this is you bait for me. But like the turkey giveaways and like, for example, like imagine LeBron James starting that school that he started and not doing an interview with 60 Minutes. Right. Why would we do that? Like, I'm still trying to help the kids, and I still am going to get it in if 60 Minutes came or not. But I want everybody to know what these kids get and the blessings and the benefits that they get from it. And hey, who knows? Maybe Rob Johnson sees this and he does the same. Or maybe another athlete builds a school. So now instead of one school, we got two schools built by black athletes for black kids. Like, it's infectious, like you said. And I calling the people corny, like, what you said for the last one, you got to get outside of zone 6, man.
Now there may be, let's be fair, there was a certain rainbow-haired kid that was filming himself giving people money on the street randomly, in which you could look at that and go, nigga, he's clearly only doing that to drum up.
It don't fit. Yeah, it don't fit. Like, because, and that's the thing, and that's a great point, and that's the important thing about it. Like, you can't just be no weirdo nigga like that dude you said out here giving niggas stuff and then going to the courtroom and telling on niggas and getting families locked up. Like, it ain't gonna work. At that point, niggas are gonna be very skeptical. But what you have to do is when you go out there and you giving food away and you doing backpack drives, you got to maintain that. Like, you can't be out here wilding. So that's a very important point as to what you said. Like, you gotta continuously do that. So that's another reason that I think it's a good thing, because it makes you a better person. Like, I can't just one day be out here giving away shit and then the next day out here shooting niggas.
Yeah.
I can't put both on Instagram. Like, I can do it, but I just can't put both of them on Instagram. So
yeah, be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Before we get out of here and we go to the rappers that we would turn the clock back on for our daylight savings episode, your man Kid Cudi voiced his displeasure with the brand new TikTok day and night challenge trend. My question to you, is it another fair or foul? Does he have a point here, or should he just shut up?
Yeah, Kid Cudi, listen, he sounds like the get off my lawn guy, and I understand him because I am the get off my lawn guy as well. But apparently, and I'm not on TikTok, thankfully, people do like a quote. There's a quote in his song that people do, and then it snaps to like doing some goofy shit. And I'm like, bro, like, Cudi, you gotta lighten up, bro. Like Cudi be serious all the time. Like, he makes serious ass music and shit. He got to lighten up. He got to chill out. He needs to just sit back and count these streams off of day and night that's coming from this. That stream check will be in the mail shortly, bro. Then you won't have to worry about that, because that's going to look crazy with all these new people kind of getting put up on your music. The concept is young and juvenile, like most of, or a lot of TikTok is. And so he just got to sit back and take that. It ain't no, from what I've seen, it's not like on no like coon shit or nothing like it. It's just young and just silly. And
no, it's fine. So, for example, it would say, hey, I don't like you much. And then they would flip a light off and it would say, I don't like you much right now. Like, the words would just change. It's just some weirdo, like, emo behavior. And I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about to get off my line, guy, but this kind of whack though. I was looking through a couple of the challenges, and to be clear, Kid Cudi wasn't saying that they shouldn't do it. He just, I don't like it. Like
Okay.
a fan replied to him and was like, bro, it ain't even that deep. He was like, nigga, I'm not even making it deep. I'm just letting you know I don't like it. Y'all niggas have fun with it. Y'all do whatever you're gonna do. It's just a no from me. And I respected that because I too thought that he was on some get off my lawn shit, but he was just voicing his opinion. Like, it's my art, like y'all out here doing it. So I can comment on it. I don't like it. And he wasn't saying, like I said, that he doesn't like it in the sense of you guys could stop. He just like it's whack. And if you look at a couple of them, you will definitely see what he was talking about.
It says that the trend features people using the part of the song where Cudi raps, "Now look at this," followed by a random clip of everything from a dog falling into a pool to a cat putting its paw into a fishbowl and falling down. So he says, he tweeted out, "I don't fuck with what they did to my song on TikTok, taking out the lyrics. We live in a strange time. I'm not flattered." That's actually funny as fuck, though. And
it is.
He probably really means that, though. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he probably
like,
said that with a straight face, bro.
Facts. He really legit was like, nah, fuck that.
He gotta relax just a little bit, lighten up just a little bit, and count them streaming checks, bro. Watching 30 days, nigga. He going, hey man, y'all keep doing that shit. TikTok, shout out to TikTok. Let's go watch.
So like, and how would it do? Like it says, like I'm looking at one that the girl got over her head. I don't want him back. And that would be the caption with the lights on, and if the song plays, she'll cut the lights off, and it'll take out the "don't him" and back, and it'll say "I won't," and then it'll have his friend or something like that. Like it flips it up. I
can
like
see a
that.
Teenager thinking that shit funny.
Yeah, like they flip it up like that. So, and I also could see a grown man like Kid Cudi be like, "Oh, that's whack." You know what I'm saying? Like that's
corny.
Yeah, that's some slaw, and that's essentially all he was saying. Like we would say, "Oh, that's some slaw."
Yeah,
have fun, my nigga, but that's some slaw.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. I'm listening to that Kid Cudi the other day too. That nigga album was banging, by the way. Just putting that out there.
Impossible.
That Man on the Move 3 was banging.
There's no way. There's no way that you voluntarily listened to Kid Cudi just the other day randomly.
You got his music fucked up. You know,
I'm not a fan, but I see how people get it. I understand his lane though. He's a legend in his lane. I always respect people that do that. He's a legend in his lane.
Absolutely, man. Hey, let's talk about 3 rappers who may be legends or could have been legends if they would have done this or that. We each have 3. I don't know your 3. I've got 3. You don't know my 3. It would be a wild-ass coincidence if we had the same 3. That would be nuts and a very boring episode. But we're going to talk about – you said who?
I'm sure we don't have the same.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't think so.
2 of these you don't have.
Okay, good. I mean, there's some slaw. What is
legends?
Give me one of your artists who, if you could rewind the time, man, on some daylight savings time shit.
For me, I'll start with one. Well, you actually is 3 that you wouldn't have because you still enjoy this artist's music. So I'll start here. This is the obvious one for me, for people that listen to the show. I was such a big fan of this guy when he first came out, his first 5 albums, and it just all went left when he started doing rock and roll shit. So if I could turn back the time to Kanye West, to a time when he made great music and he was the best producer in hip hop, maybe a time even before he started rapping, oh man, I would fucking love that. That would be the best thing probably that ever happened in hip hop. If we could go back to the future and make Kanye West just a little Kanye West, not this Kanye West that we see now that's divorcing from Kim Kardashian and has the Yeezys, but as successful just musically and sticking to music and just staying in that bag right there, man, I would fucking love that, man. So my first person I would turn back the time is Kanye West. And if I had to quote a specific album or sound, I would go right there to Graduation. Graduation is when I feel like Kanye West was at his best musically. He was at his best. Well, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but if I'm going back in time, that would come after. So Graduation is where I would turn it back to.
All right. So ironically, he's one of mine as well.
No, well, how is that and you still enjoy it?
I have a different reason though, because I do still enjoy his music, but his shine isn't the same as it was before. I will admit that. And he's made a lot of questionable decisions, even for me, a super fan that I am. But if I could go back and rewind time on him, I'd go back to 2007 and he could tell his mom not to have that surgery. Like straight up. He tell his mom not to have that surgery. We know what happened from there that led to her passing away. And it was all, quote unquote, downhill from there for a lot of people. That's where a lot of people say the music made a turn. Now, on the flip side, I'm a fan of the music still.
But you know it sucks.
So this would be me sacrificing my own personal feelings for the greater good, because if we could have got the 4th installment of his series, which would have been Good Ass Job after graduation, I'm super interested to know what that would have sounded like. But if his mom doesn't pass away, you don't get 808s. You don't get a whole legion of rappers moving toward that sound right there. And you don't get My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy along with several other projects. But maybe he never really goes for Kim. Maybe he and Jay are still he and Jay. So you never know. Obviously, we on some butterfly effect shit right now. But I think if I could go back, it would be 07 when his right before his mom passed, to kind of be like, hey, bro, tell her don't do that shit. Like, because that's when things went off the rails, honestly.
Everybody literally misses the old Kanye.
Not me, though. I'm cool. The new Kanye, y'all sleep on the new Kanye, though.
I'm dead sleep, nigga. Coma. What did the kids say? Nigga, coma sleep. Who's your second one?
So my second one, I'm actually going back to 2007 again. I'm going back to October 12th, 2007, right here in Atlanta. I'm sitting and I'm eating my food down at Peachtree, down over at Piedmont, some good-ass restaurant, and I see T.I., and he's on his way to Walgreens. And for some reason, he stops at a light. He's got his windows down. And I yell out, fam, don't go to Walgreens, bro. Don't buy the straps. And he like, how this nigga know I'm finna get straps?
That was in California, nigga.
The fuck? Yeah, I know. I'm just, listen. Hey, man, what? How this nigga know I'm finna go get, what the fuck? Don't buy the straps, bro. And he takes a U-turn. He goes back home, and he doesn't get set up for the guns. He doesn't go to jail. And he is on a trajectory to be the Jay-Z of the South like we thought he was going to be. He doesn't do time. That way he doesn't lose Meek Mill. So he has another star under his belt with Grand Hustle. A lot of people don't know he was on the Grand Hustle first. He got locked up, and then Meek asked for his release. Meek got released, linked up with Rick Ross, and the rest is history. Now he's on airplanes and with billionaires and probably on deck to buy a team or some shit. Who knows? But I think if T.I. doesn't get locked up that time in 07, then he's a bigger name actor at that point. And then people take him more seriously on the things that he has to say. Like when it comes to social justice and things of that nature, his resume is a little bit more cleaner. Like it's not perfect. It's not flawless. Nobody wants that. But it's just some people look at you as being contradictory when you've got certain things in your past, and you know, you do the commercial with the call the police if you see something commercial that people hang over his head today. And so you just have questions in the resume, bro. So you get rid of all of that if he turns around and doesn't go to Walgreens to meet the guy that set him up, man. So that's what I would go back to, 2007. I could have swore that was in Atlanta, though, because it was at the BET Hip Hop Awards. It was right before the BET Hip Hop Awards.
It might have been. You might be right.
But I don't know. I know it was at Walgreens and he was buying straps. How he was going to get them from LA to Atlanta is a whole other story if that's the case. He was going to get caught either way.
That was for his house. He could have mailed them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good one right there, because you and I both were around for T.I. T.I.'s trajectory and then the derailment of that going to jail. Me is similar to Kanye West with you. I've been enjoying his music through the ups and downs. I've been a fan. So I wouldn't want to reset it because I've enjoyed it all, but he definitely could have been a bigger star. I 1,000,000% agree with you. And that's wild to say, as big as T.I. is and has gotten, like he could have been even bigger. Like he could have been.
But like, even right now, like you think of J level, bro. Like it's not a lot of scandalous shit that be hovering around J head like that. Like
the last scandalous thing was when he stabbed
Nah, it was with when they people thought he cheated on Beyonce or whatever, but they turned that into an album, nigga. And they turned that into 3 albums, nigga, and one of them was a classic. And you can argue Lemonade was a classic for a lot of people. So, like, even when that shit happened, he still was able to get out of that and pivot and flip it into some positive shit. T.I.'s got his back against the wall right now, dude, for like the 8th time in a year.
So you're telling me that you wouldn't want to hear the album about the current situation he and Tiny are going through?
I don't want to hear no new T.I.
Turn that into an album.
No, bro. I don't want to hear that. The Tiny and T.I. Lemonade shit, like, no, bro.
Oh my
I
God.
don't want to hear that, bro.
I'm not here for that as a T.I. fan.
Nah.
Not at all. Yeah,
Look where he could be, man. He could be fucking owning the Hawks right now, bro. Like on some real shit.
So this is solidifying. At least this one is not the same.
Okay.
And this is going to be a Jay-Z reference as well. My story has to do a little bit with Jay-Z and this guy. And what I would quote as a story that I heard him tell one time is when he just got signed to Rockefeller, or similar to around the time he got signed, standing outside, all the Dipset army was out there, and niggas was standing in Jay-Z's parking spot. And normally, normal niggas would move when Hove pull up. I'm in the big dog fucking Maybach, Bentley, Rolls Royce, Phantom, whatever it is that Jay-Z pulls up in, you know it's Jay-Z. And the niggas didn't move. They stayed right there. Jay-Z pulled off, didn't go to the office that he was going to. But the next day when those niggas showed back up to that office, it had been bought and closed down. No one can hang out here anymore since you niggas want to hang out in my parking spot. And the person that I'm talking about is Cameron. He told this story, I believe, when it was on a Combat Jack or something like that. But he did tell that story of once when Jay pulled up, nobody with Dipset would move out of his parking spot. He left. The next day they came back, the building's gone. Oh, excuse me. The space is no longer theirs. And if I'm telling you the artist here is Cameron, I wish we could turn back and him being a little bit more cordial with Jay-Z during that Rockefeller time period. And I think that still today, you would have Cameron as an artist, and that's what I miss the most. As a fan, I was listening to Purple Haze the other day, not one of his best albums, but I still love Down and Out with Kanye West. I still love the intro, and I just miss the commentary that a Cameron would have that stayed relevant. Not the Cameron that we've gotten lately while he still does his thing as a rapper. I'm talking about a Cameron that would have been stayed on that track of Old Boy, had been right in that pocket, been able to stay as successful throughout all of these years. I think we would have been in for a big treat as hip hop fans if Cameron were able to keep to that high that he had around Come Home With Me, Purple Haze, Dipset Anthem, Dipset Immunity Era. So if I could turn back another one, I would turn back for Cameron Giles right around the time the Purple Haze and Dipset came. Actually, to the time when they niggas would move out of Jay-Z's parking spot. Move out of the way, be more cordial with Hove, let him open up some more doors with you, and stay around for a long time. That way we get more relevant Cameron music, which is what I missed out on.
Yeah, man, they could have capitalized more off of it. They talk about it all the time, even down like to shit like merch. They never sold merch. That's a huge mistake, bro.
Yeah,
like, bro,
somebody sold it. They didn't though. Somebody was selling them.
That's true. Yeah, somebody was. That's a fact. But that shit was at Quick Sack, nigga, right on the corner, nigga.
Facts.
But no, Cam, that's a good one. If he would have been a little bit more agreeable, maybe The Rock doesn't break
such
up.
An asshole.
Yeah. Maybe people aren't forced to choose sides. Yeah. Maybe they don't. Maybe The Rock stay together. Maybe who knows?
There was a lot of fuel to the fire that Dame and Jay already had going on. If he would have been a fire extinguisher as opposed to gasoline, I feel like it would have took his career, that situation, a lot further than what we see.
That's state prop. That's all of them.
Just imagine that.
Yeah.
Cameron had the personality to tie all of that together. Like if Cam would have been a nigga that would been like, nah, Jay, cool. I'm fucking with Jay. I'm fucking with State Prop. Dipset as all of us are fucking together. Man, that shit would have been rolling for another 20 years, nigga.
Yep.
Like it just divided.
Real quick though, and I know we mentioned this on the Patreon, which we did 2 Rockefeller albums. Just recently, Freeway and Young Guns, both of their debuts. Y'all check that out on patreon.com/realview. We posed a question. Rockefeller draft. Where does Cameron go?
Third round. It's Jay, Beans, Cam.
No Kanye? He's a top 5 pick.
He's a top 5 pick because you can go. Jay and Beans are 1 and 2.
Clearly.
And then it's preference whether you're gonna go Kanye West or you're gonna go.
Or do you go Jewel? You ain't gonna Jewels? Like prime Jewels?
Nah, I gotta. If we talking Rockefeller careers, I would pick Freeway over Jewels. Freeway. Yeah, if I got a Freeway was strong. Remember, because we talked about his debut. Again,
That's
go to
true.
the Patreon and what was on that first album. I'm going Freeway. But yeah, Cameron top 5.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Top
that's
5
fair.
pick. Yeah, top 5 pick.
My last one, my third rapper who we if we could rewind the time on some daylight savings time shit. I wish we could rewind real time, dude. That hour. I don't know how an hour affects niggas like this, but dude, like I don't even know what day it is.
Be off for like a week.
That's what I'm saying.
I woke up this morning, it was still dark outside. I thought, well, like, what the fuck? It was the right time, though. I was like, motherfucker. When you wake up and it's still dark, it just make you like tired. Like, God,
this artist, man, is actually no longer with us. So I'm actually going back to the 90s. This is Tupac. And I'm telling him, do not sign with Death Row Records. He's in jail. I'm his cellmate. Don't ask me what I got locked up for. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. And he's like, he come back to the cell and like, bro, like Suge just called me, bro. Suge who? Suge Knight. Hey, don't do it. You finna be out. Don't do it. Reconsider. I feel like if Pac had never signed with Death Row, he'd still be alive today. And who knows what he would be into right now. I just got through watching the Judas and the Black Messiah and Fred Hampton dying at 21. Do you see the trajectory of what he was fitting to get accomplished just in Chicago? Like, the sky was the limit. And I know that's cliche as fuck, but the same goes for Pac. Pac was finna take over Hollywood. Pac was finna take over music, take back over music. Pac was about to do the philanthropy thing. He was finna take over the hood. He was trying to connect like the police and the hood. Like, he was trying to like actually have some order to shit. And history tells us that person doesn't make it long anyway, to be honest. So possibly even if he hadn't signed with Suge, he may have been taken out at some point down the line. This is the country that we live in, unfortunately. But I would have liked to see how far he could have taken it and what he could have gotten accomplished. He accomplished so much in his short time. It's really amazing when you think about it. So it's one of our best bright minds. People don't make music like Pac no more. And I promise you, bro, if I could turn back, I'd tell him, man, don't sign with Death Row, bro. Go fucking just sign with Interscope, sign with Def Jam, do anything but sign with Dude. Because ultimately his affiliations is what led to his demise, among a couple of other things. But that's basically the bottom line. So that would be my third one, man. Pac, man, don't do it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. As a Tupac fan, I think hip-hop, again, I want to use a robbery word. We were robbed of what he would have had to offer the culture, the game. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I don't really have a lot to add to that. That's spot on. My last one, I dug way down in the crates, one, to ensure that we wouldn't have the same one. I know you didn't pick this person. He probably ain't even on your radar. But the reason that I picked this person, because I feel like he was kind of before his time. And we talking about what a down south lyricist and the success that you've seen from people like Big Crit, Currency, people that have that kind of own lane from down south now. If this person had done that a little bit sooner, even though later on in the career he signed with Bad Boy, and I'm talking about 8 Ball. I feel like a person that looks like 8 Ball and that raps like him, being from Memphis, not just the traditional Memphis sound, but still tuned in to what that is, having like a little trap background as well. Like, I feel like 8 Ball's career could have been a lot bigger than it was. And he got with
not 8 Ball MJG.
Not 8 Ball. I ain't talking about both of them. I'm just talking about 8 Ball. Okay. I feel like as a solo artist, he could have went solo a little, could have harped down on the solo thing a little earlier, hooked up with somebody like a Puff, or just tried to push the solo 8 Ball career. And especially as you got later into what the Southern rap evolved into with trap rap, like he would have been like an OG as opposed to being forgotten about. Like, we won't hear a lot of people talk about him other than Southern people, but I just feel like the profile could have been bigger. What he was talking about was fire. The rhymes and the bars was there. And had he hooked up with Puff maybe 4 or 5 years earlier, had he hooked up with a Master P, had he hooked up with somebody that was going to put 8 Ball in front and make him the superstar, like we seen with a Notorious Big, but letting it be a Southern version, I feel like he could have absolutely killed that because all of the stuff was there as far as skill set, charisma, a hometown where he was from and having the backing. So 8 Ball would have been my last one, man. And I was going to turn back the time to right around Lost when he dropped that triple CD and put that out, just continuing to go in his own way. And I ain't knocking MJG. MJG is a hell of an artist. I just feel like 8 Ball would have been a bigger star solo than with MJG.
I was about to say, does that mean, when you just answered, I was going to say, would you rather that and never have 8 Ball MJG? Could that have worked?
I take the early. I just feel like he should have got out of there sooner.
Okay. All right.
Like, so if we go all the way up to On Top of the World, and we stop right there on Top of the World and just go all the way in on the 8 Ball, like that was 95. On Top of the World,
I mean, we missing in our lifetime, though.
We do miss in our lifetime, but I think we get a better trade-off, though, with an 8 Ball solo career and a longer career, man. 8 Ball had a lot to say. I was listening to that Lost today, like, that's a fire-ass album. It's too long. Yeah. Way too many songs on there and a lot of reachy radio tracks, but the stuff that hits still hits today.
Yeah.
Y'all go check out that 8 Ball Lost CD if you sleep on it.
I was listening to 8 Ball MJG about 2 weeks ago. I
listen to that once a week. That in our lifetime. Jesus.
Oh my God, that mother.
Daylight, man, come on. Boy. That CeeLo song, like, come on. It's mandatory.
If Puff would have got a hold of him and molded him like how he did,
that's like how he did process. Big, bro. That would have been
like nice Mace, like he could take care of the singles and shit. Like having like a down south juicy type joint, like he could do that. Or if you look at what like Big Pimpin' did for UGK, like, you know what I'm saying, like a collab, like a big time collab.
Exactly, making something it like exactly. It's something like that. So I feel like if we could have had that would have been big.
That's true. Guys, we want to know what you think. Give us 3 rappers that if you could turn back the clock on, you would, and why. Go to youtube.com/realville to watch and comment, man. Let us know which 3 rappers. Also, Facebook, Rap Chat. Go find that group. Let us know. Also, at OndeckTV Podcast on IG. Let us know, dog. I like them 3 picks, though. So hold on, give me the recap. You had
Kanye West, Cameron Giles, and 8 Ball.
Absolutely, man.
Who
I too had Kanye, and I had T.I., and I had Tupac. We had all 3 pretty big stars. I mean, I know 8 Ball's not like a household name, but if you know, you know, though.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Let's get to some wins and losses, man. We've got a W to hand out to Wu-Tang fans. Guys, get excited about this. The next versus battle is Ghostface versus Rayquan. It's on the way. Are you tuning in?
Absolutely. And this is for pure entertainment value. I probably won't know one song, but I do know that Ghostface is probably one of the funniest rappers on the face of the earth. So this is going to be very entertaining. And Rayquan is, I don't know if he entertaining, but I do know Ghostface is funny. So I'm going to at least tap in the beginning to see how funny he is. And if he keeps me that whole time, I'm there. You checking? Absolutely not. I'm not here. I don't like the idea of 2 people from a group going against each other. Cause then you can't do the Wu-Tang song. So that's kind of weird to me. Like, who does that? Do they perform them together? I don't know. Is there any other group you could break up and do that with? 20 records? That's rough. No, I don't see that. That's rough. I don't know. Nah. Maybe if you did like a G-Unit one, but that still ain't gonna get you. Them niggas ain't got 20, like bro. If you did what? Who battling each other? Tony Yayo versus Lloyd Banks. No. With Buck versus Lloyd Banks? Absolutely not. No. What the fuck? No. Oh, hey, and a correction too about we were questioning why they did the Thriller deal. You know they're part owners of that now, in that now, Swiss and Tim. I did not. So they own that company. Yes. Okay. I mean, not outright, but I'm saying, kind of like I'm doing it with them before Apple too. Then, if I own exactly, that makes sense. Because I know that. Next up, man, we have a L to artists that want to work with NBA YoungBoy. J. Cole, Lil Baby, and the rainbow-haired kid all got turned down for features from NBA YoungBoy. J. Cole said he got stood up for 8 hours in the studio by YoungBoy. Nigga drove down there. I'd be livid if I was J. Cole, if I drove to beat NBA YoungBoy at the studio and that nigga stood me up. And the reasoning being I just don't feel it right now. You better, nigga.
Well, would you rather that or him be in the studio on some emo shit and not really fucking with niggas, bro?
Send me the verse, nigga. Let me know you gonna send me the verse while I pull off, nigga. I ain't even got to meet you, my nigga. Just send me the verse. I pretty much figured you was a weirdo anyway, my nigga. So just send me the verse and let people tell you, like, we'll just tell people a cool story. I wouldn't dare pull up in a studio session with NBA Youngboy, but this does suck though, because I feel like he's a very popular artist, and him and J. Cole merging that gap would have been pretty cool, like he did with 21 Savage and Lil Baby and him. I feel like that would have been a street anthem, probably, as many people fuck with them. So that's weird to me. That's a weird ass story, man.
Yeah, he turned down the goddamn. He turned out $1 million from Tekashi too.
I'm not doing that though.
Yeah, nobody care about that shit.
But he just said, but what he quoted being like just not emotionally in a place to record right now.
Well, that's good then. I don't want you around me anyway. Then let's be honest.
Just send me the verse, my nigga. Fuck all
the verse
that.
Gonna be some slaw.
I don't believe he makes that type of music though. That's the type of music he make now though, like the emo, like am I in my feelings? So yeah, he probably tapped into some fire right now too. Nigga, send me that verse. Pulling up on you, I wouldn't dare pull up the NBA Youngboy. Like, J. Cole a good one for that anyway.
Yeah,
you pull up to the bro. No, send me the verse.
You trying to keep it too real, man. I've heard stories about Youngboy. We good?
Yeah, send me the verse, bro. Right. Where you at? You in Baton Rouge? Cool. I can't even make it, bro. Just shoot that verse over to me. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to get down, though. No. We ain't doing that.
Man, we also have another L to Doja and Gabbana's website. Their collab with DJ Khaled crashed the site. The collab, who knew, number one, that Khaled had a collab with Doja and Gabbana? Didn't know that, but he does. He's got tracksuits, shorts. Are you here for the Doja and Gabbana DJ Khaled collab?
I have to check it out, man. I've been looking for some good tracksuits, so I have to go check that out. But again, I want to second what you said. Who the fuck knew that they were doing a collab, man? Shout out to the PR team of Khaled for no one knowing about this, but also knowing his name still holds weight and he crashes Doja and Gabbana's website. They did let you know that part of it, though. So if another brand wants to come pick him up, they let you know that he's still hot. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. He's got the Miami meets Mediterranean tracksuits. The top is $13.45 and the bottom is $10.25.
I'm good.
And it's floral and plant patterned.
I am good. All the way good, man.
Real quick, got a bonus W to Travis Scott. He dropped his spiked seltzer this week called Cacti. Are you here for the spiked seltzer? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Is that beer? What the fuck is that?
Even though I don't drink, I am shouting out to Travis Scott for this. Spikes, it's like, you know, what's the name of the sparkling water? You know whatever it's called, seltzer water with alcohol in it.
Oh, that's not good. I don't like seltzer water though.
Yeah, it's just the seltzer water. It's like an alternative to beer. So it's just like that with alcohol in it. But that is probably, this is like, you listen to Market Snacks just like I do.
Yeah.
That is the most popular alcoholic beverage right now, though. So he getting in that game. It's a big ass market cap on that. They were talking about that on Market Snacks it was about 2 weeks ago, but they were talking about how big the like Anheuser-Busch is getting into it. Like all the big players are getting into the seltzer game. So I expect Travis Scott to be there. Shout out to him for that, man. It's big.
Anheuser-Busch distributes this product.
He in there.
So there's that.
Travis Scott raking it in. He might not never make another album. God dang.
That's
PlayStation,
crazy.
McDonald's, Anheuser-Busch,
Fortnite,
Jordan. Goodness,
Fortnite.
Crazy. You couldn't ask Fortnite. You couldn't ask for like bigger brands to be associated with.
And that's in 1 year.
It's a lot of pressure on this album, huh?
It is. Yeah.
Gotta be. Like he gotta like knock this shit out the park. He probably talking about retiring after this. Got to be, man.
Y'all be on the lookout. That Euphoria is on the way, allegedly. That's what he said.
That's the name of the album?
Yep.
He said he's switching the style of it and everything, didn't he?
Yeah. He been on that too much spike seltzer. He might be bullshitting.
I know his people tell you, relax on the style switch, bro. Just get this one out. We can do all that style switch later. Just get this one out.
Yeah. Man, on Decker of the Week, man, we're going to Twitter. Shout out to @BronxForever. He said, Life After Death is a 5-star for me, but Ready to Die is my favorite rap album of all time. Great episode as always from y'all. So he prefers Ready to Die, but life after death is still fire. Triple salute to my guy at Bronx Forever on Twitter.
Preferring ready to die is the most New York thing I've heard today.
Now, look, also his Twitter name is Built for Cuban Links.
New York.
He's going to hate my Wu-Tang take.
And he said Bronx Forever, right? That's his ad name? Nah, this nigga
Yes.
New York down, son.
Absolutely. Hey, and if I was him, I'd be ready for that Ghostface and Rayquan. I'd be front row. And I'm
the Tim Zone, son, in July, son.
I know I would be.
Let's
Yankee and Tim Zone, goddammit. I'd be front row for that shit. I'm gonna be front row for the UGK and A-Ball MJG if it ever happens.
All day, every day, twice on Sunday, nigga. Preach.
Absolutely.
Put on for the week?
Yeah, man. What you got, man?
I want to double down on the Snow School podcast. We are finding the groove over there. Had a good time this week with M Extra and Sean Wash. Man, we broke down scene by scene as we do each episode of the Snowfall FX series, man. So if you're not listening to that and you're watching Snowfall, you're missing out. Check it out every week. We're going to drop it on Sunday, Monday, somewhere in there. Give you time to listen before the episode airs on Wednesday, but make sure you're tapping into Snow School. Appreciate you.
100%, man. I'm keeping it TV as well. I binged what you suggested last week.
What's that?
Which was WandaVision.
Fire.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was creative. I thought it was original.
That was a great way to tell a story.
Super dope concept.
I wasn't familiar with all of the, like, her being able to create worlds. That shit was fire to me.
Yeah, no, it made me care about characters that I really were afterthoughts because they're not like Iron Man, like the big dogs.
Thanks.
They're more afterthoughts, but they made an interesting and compelling story around like bench players. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a championship team, but they're on the bench though. Like, so that was dope. Kudos to them. That was I wonder what the writer's room was like for that, coming up with that concept, because that was creative as fuck.
I was mind blown. Because especially when you binge it though.
Yeah, tough.
Like they was piecing them out, but when you binge it and you get the different eras back to back, you're like, I'm killing this.
That was hard.
Like they killing, and they were just like the 60 sitcoms, 50 sitcoms.
Yeah.
That shit was good.
Yeah, that was hard. Where you at on the MCU? Have you watched any more movies?
Iron Man 2? Is that the start of the second one? Or
no, 3.
What's this? Yeah, Iron Man 3. I just finished that one then.
Killing.
I just cut off before the new Thor movie. Yeah, it was fire.
Yeah,
all that shit was good.
The little villain, he was shaking.
Wait. Before you jack it, is it 3? Are you sure it's 3? I think it's 2. Iron Man 1, 2, 3.
2 was the nigga with the electric shit.
Yeah.
And then 3 was the Mandarin. Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, I must stop. I must ain't started 3 yet, man. That's what it is.
Nigga. I was finna blow it.
You was. I'm glad I caught you because you was finna go in. Wait just a second, brother. I gotta watch 3. Actually, I'm gonna do those tomorrow after I watch Undercover Billionaire. I'm gonna get back in those because what's the new show come out this week, right?
Yeah, the
Wasp and the Hornet.
Absolutely not. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Black Iron Man, right?
Yeah, he the black. No, he the new Captain America.
Black Captain America.
Yeah. Can't wait.
I'm only watching this to start my petition to get a Black Spider-Man and a Black Superman because I want to see
Black Spider-Man already exists.
I'm talking about like Peter Parker being black.
No, absolutely not.
Going to the very beginning like that and get Peter Parker to be black.
No.
I'm here for that. I'm signing a petition for Black Superman and Black Spider-Man.
On that note, on that note, it's time to go. Hey, we appreciate everybody tapping in. Do us a favor, man. YouTube.com/Realville. Make sure you hit the subscribe button when you go in and leave a comment, man. Let us know your 3 artists who you could rewind the time, who you would rewind the time if you could. And make sure you go to Patreon to support The Real, man. The link is in the description. Take you there for the bonus content.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you guys joining in. And we're doing a real big push on the YouTube, man. If you aren't over there already, make sure you're tapping in a couple of times a week to check out the content that we provide from Realville Media, man. Everything that we put out is going to be over there on the YouTube. So make sure you go subscribe, rate, like. The Dame Dash interview is over there. We got a lot of good interviews in the archive, man. So check those out. You know,
absolutely, man.
With the team.
Until the next time, man, we out.
Yep.